There's a rich history of racism in baseball. When you first got into the game, did you feel it, see it? Did you hear stories from your dad or Willie or Hank or anything like that?
The problem with that question is that it's a fuel for the media to run with he said questions, right? He said. We already know that answer. We don't need to, I kind of stay out of it only because if you want the truth, it's an industry that needs to come together to make it happen. And the industry starts up here, okay? I'm down on the bottom floor. So we as an industry, we here bottom and top, have to find a way to come together to balance it, right? For me to sit there and say, is there racism? Yeah, I mean, I could say yes, that's true. We all know that. Me as Black people, we know what's going on. Exactly. We're not blinded by any of that, right? We're not a threat to anyone. We're not trying to pose a threat to anyone. We're trying to be relevant or equal or valued, right? Well, the industry has to come together. And how do we do that? It's people need to sit at the table and figure it out.
That's simple.
It's that simple.
Conversation.
You have to.
Decline in Black players in baseball. Is it because of the love and Black kids not loving baseball, or is it because other races are just dominating the game of baseball?
The other race, or if we're gonna be technical, white race has always dominated baseball. It's just, I mean, it was there since day one until Jackie Robinson broke the color barrier, if you wanna be honest and true about it. How many star Blacks are in baseball? You got star Latinos.
That's what I mean.
You got star Asians.
Yeah.
You got star whites.
Right.
When I played baseball, you had me, Ken Griffey Jr., Eric Davis, Ozzie Smith, Willie McGee. I can go on and on and on and on. Andre Dawson. I mean, I can name a ton of inspiring Black athletes on the field to inspire other Black kids to want to play. Right? So, what is that? An industrial problem.
Yeah.
The industry needs to fix it.
That's simple.
What about too, I mean, I went to school with a lot of white kids in high school, and travel baseball was expensive. It was almost priced out of my community. Although I went to school with kids that can afford it, I feel like it's kind of priced out of the Black community at times. And I think that kind of hinders the opportunity for some of these kids to come up and really have an opportunity at it.
It is very expensive. I mean, bats are what, $500?
Yeah, it's crazy.
I mean, it's like crazy. I mean, I do something else. I mean, gloves are $300 something dollars. I mean, you're at almost $2,000 right now just to play baseball with spikes.
That's just equipment.
Just equipment. We're talking about just with spikes and, and stuff like that. And it's hard, but it still comes back to if you don't have enough, like the NBA, there's so much equals, or football, it's balanced. Baseball, it's not as balanced. So why am I chasing baseball when I'm not looking at, okay, I can name Mookie Betts. I can name a few, but I can't name enough to say, Mom, go buy me a glove, or Mom, I'll go get a paper route, or Dad, I'll go do this to play baseball. There's not enough of us
You
there.
don't see it.
I'm retired.
Yeah.
I'm retired. Kenny, we're all retired now. It's either industrial, we all have to get together and start communicating and talking and trying to find a balance, or you take the younger group and 6% or 2% you got and try to balance it, because you have to give, the kids need something to see, somewhat to see. I mean, you have to see it to want it. I mean, you would probably have more Black kids want to play tennis because it's Serena and the rest of them that are out there because you're seeing it. And it's like a tennis racket and just some tennis, I'm gonna go,
I can do it too.
I could do that, but there's not enough of us to inspire our community.